Hello, hello, my beautiful beloveds. Welcome to your sacred sexuality card for the week. The card is the Seven of Cups, and this is such an interesting card as it relates to sacred sexuality. Look at all of these things on offer here, and this guy's trying to make a decision, or he's just overlooking all these various options. And if you look at this card, some of these things are not very desirable, right? There can be some trickery and illusion in here is what I think of with this card. Too many choices, maybe an overwhelm as well. How do I choose? But this guy it's a really dark figure. So I also think of this as like the shadow, our shadow side that can get really locked up in delusion and illusion and all of these choices, which way to go. We can spin ourselves out. This is a cups card, so it's more about emotions and intuition. It's a sacred feminine energy. So where are we maybe being pulled in some different directions or having a bit of confusion in which way to go on our path, and some maybe old patterns? Our shadow is making it look confusing and hard to decide. But when we really tap into our hearts, and this is an intuitive emotional card, so when we really get into our emotions and really feel our way into these decisions and all of these options, and we trust ourselves, we know which way to go. We can just get caught up in, again, it's the shadow side, that old patterns that might not be serving us, right? Old emotional attachments. And as this is showing up in sacred sexuality, maybe old patterns and old thought systems, old beliefs, old emotions around sexuality, around your own sexual expression, around connections, around partnerships, around how you're showing up in sexuality, how you're showing up in relationship. What kind of emotions are you bringing in? And, are they serving you? And is it old stuff that you're ready to let go of and looking to let go of? Or maybe make some healthier, newer choices for yourself. This is such an interesting card. This is for me, this card is when I am in some sort of delusion, or need to watch for delusion and watch for things that are presenting in one way when they really are another way. So how is that showing up on your sacred sexuality journey, in your sexual expression and your sexual life? I'm thinking of, it's easy when we get on this path around sacred sexuality and spirituality to really go down a couple of rabbit holes and get caught up in like the bigger orgasm, or connecting with various partners that are also maybe in some sort of fantasy. This is a lot of fantasy in this card. I feel like, again, there's that illusion and delusion. We can get into fantasy on the sacred sexuality path and really think we're in free flow and just being open and spontaneous, but really where it's coming from, unhealthy emotional needs and desires that aren't really serving our highest good. But it can be very seductive, this path around sexuality, and feeling like it's a supportive thing and it's free and it's open, but we can really get lost. We can really go down into some more unhealthy. Again, that's the shadow, right? Here's the shadow. So as I'm fleshing this card out a little bit more, that's really speaking to me as we're exploring it and watching the shadow on the path, watching how it can sneak in and kind of take you in the wrong way, right? In the wrong direction. With all the choices, sometimes like people start getting into tantric groups and there's just all these things, and it's feeling really supported to just be so open sexually. And some of the people aren't necessarily in the best emotional or mental or spiritual space to really be coming from a healthy connection, right? It's more about fixation and unhealthy emotional needs and codependency, and so there can be some real trappings here. And when I first started getting into learning about Tantra on my spiritual path, I ran into all of that sort of stuff, right? A lot of people showing up that their hearts were in a good place, but, they weren't actually ready for that kind of intensity around sexuality, and the teachers weren't maybe didn't have the experience to guide as well. So again, a lot of this can be really seductive, and it takes a lot of discernment and discrimination. And some of us, we need to run into some of those illusions to move through them and to be able to recognize them and make healthier choices for ourselves, right? So that's what's coming up for me. What have you discovered on your path that looks healthy and looks good and desirable, but then you discover, like, actually that's not really serving me, and it's only taking me in the wrong direction, and isn't moving me more into my heart and into a healthier place of connection within myself and with my sovereign free will and with connection with others, right? Where are we moving more into codependency and unhealthy relationship patterns versus healthy sovereign free will and support and nourishment from a relationship, right? So really important to keep an eye on that as you're engaging in these sacred sexuality practices and on the path. Look for people that are really doing the work and have gone through it. And yeah, so that's what's coming through for me on that. Very exciting. Great card, especially for sacred sexuality. I feel like please check out the rest of my YouTube channel for so much more to support you on your journey. If you appreciated this video, please like, comment, and I would love for you to subscribe to get more notifications of what's going on here and supporting you on your sacred sexuality path and coming into greater passion and wholeness and self-love and having those juicy, sexy, amazing connections, nourishing, supportive connections with others that we so long for. And be sure to check out my website also for so much more to support you in your process. Sessions, resources, community events. If you really are looking to get into sacred sexuality, again, I'm offering events that will really support you in your process. So yeah, pilgrimages, programs, so much going on my website. So please check that out. Thank you so much for being here. I'm just so grateful for your presence. Wishing you a gorgeous day and a happy week of reflecting on that card and what it's bringing up for you. And yeah, journal on that. It's great. So thanks all. Bye.